Welcome back. Our panel rejoining us now, and we talk New Jersey politics. We've said it before, and we'll say it again. It is good to be Chris Christie. Republican New Jersey governor remains a near lock here to win and going away re-election this fall for governor. And there are no 2016 White House conversations where his name doesn't come up first, or at least in the first conversation. But it's not all good right now for the governor. And yes, he's still doing his job, and every decision that he faces in Trenton isn't just something he's got to navigate in terms of the legislature. He's got to figure out the consequences if, in fact, he does run in 2016 like most of us predict he will.
And balancing those two is going to be the difficulty for Governor Christie. We didn't have to look that hard to find examples of difficult issues for Christie the governor and Christie the prospective presidential candidate. These headlines are all from the past few weeks. New Jersey and same-sex marriage. Voters support it. Christie opposes it and wants it as a ballot measure. Any decision from Christie could impact his White House chances. Medical marijuana legal in New Jersey, but Christie's done just about everything in his power to slow the process. Tax revenue and the economy as a whole. Christie's pushed through lots of spending cuts, but the state's economy is lagging with one of the highest unemployment rates in the country. Immigration and the DREAM Act. Christie could have to decide whether to sign a DREAM Act law soon. It's a hot-button issue on the national level, to be sure. And then the two big-ticket issues for the governor, guns, one of them. He's got a slew of gun bills on his desk. Ignoring them could be damaging among New Jersey voters. Signing them could be potentially toxic in a Republican presidential primary. And finally, bipartisan friendships. The Times has this story out today about the governor's friendship with Cory Booker, how that could hurt Booker. But the opposite clearly could be true as well, along with the governor's celebrated buddy-buddy show with President Obama. Rich?
That's right. Obi, what do you think? I think Dom and I go back on this back and forth every time. I think he is underestimated at one's own peril. This is as talented a politician as I think there's out there. But at the same end, is he the one guy that can pull off that tightrope walk with the Tea Party folks, that if he says things loud enough and he says them off the cuff and he goes blue enough, they'll cut him some slack if he plays well with Democrats? Can you do that and still get elected the way the Republican Party is constructed nationally?
2016 is a lifetime away in politics. We all know that, number one. Number two, he's more than 20 points ahead, nearly 30 points ahead right now in the current New Jersey polls. He has a lot of political capital he can put aside. Those gun bills you're talking about, what he's indicating right now is he's not going to sign them, and the reason he's not going to sign them is he has his own bill trying to put forward. If the Senate won't take up his bill, he has an easy answer. I won't sign these. You guys take up my bill. We'll talk about it then. So when you talk about gay marriage, talk about guns, he's been lowering taxes. Everything he's doing right now works out fine in the Republican primary. The issues you have are what he's already done with Obama. And the other thing you have to remember is you guys played the other night the clip of Governor Perry and what happened to him in the debate. Everybody thought Perry was a rock star. He was going to be taking over the field, doing everything else. He opens his mouth up in a debate, see what happens, and he gets hit. And you mentioned the night too with Christie, if he attacks somebody at the wrong situation, a school teacher and so forth, these types of things can set somebody off track so easily in any fashion, any campaign.
I saw one thing, Andrew, in the that was playing out on immigration. Some of the groups, conservative groups, even the Koch brothers, they've agreed to, you know what, we're going to let this thing get through here. We're going to basically get behind Rubio and make sure nobody goes and takes a flank shot at him. To me, it says that some of these guys learned something in 2012. They haven't exactly shown in the last year, but they've learned some lessons here. Maybe they let Christie if they think he's his best shot. And we believe the backstories in the Dan Balls book that they really wanted him to run a lot of the power brokers. They cut him some slack and give him some basically cover here and get it out of the way in 2013, some of these social issues.
But that won't be unanimous. I mean, you might have some people who are looking...
Does it have to be?
I think it kind of does, because otherwise you're going to have lots of interest groups, particularly on the far right, that aren't going to be as forgiving on certain issues as the Koch brothers may be when it comes to immigration, or other groups might be on other specific issues. The other concern for Christie right now is that if he's the guy who can play nice with both teams and play with Democrats as well as he plays with Republicans, at some point he's got to sign legislation that Democrats will actually be happy with. Otherwise, it's not enough to just be
I don't think he does.
Well, it's not
right, Don? I mean, Don, he doesn't have to get something passed at this point. I mean, he can play and just blame the legislature. Who really knows whose fault it is?
I firmly believe, Richard, a lot of this with Christie, to his credit, is personality driven. And I think that the guy has the magic touch right now. But we'll see when those folks on the far right get a hold of him in 2016.
It's not just the far right, it's the party as a whole. You talk about the Obama stuff and so forth. You know, I had a client last year running for the U.S. Senate here in New York whose wife had written a check for $250 to Obama, and every time he called the county chair across the state, the first question was, why'd you support Obama? Because the opposition had called up ahead. So any single thing that happens right now, and where he goes with it, it's all going to be whatever the message is.
That could be it too. All right, we come back, have a little fun. Most patriotic sports moments in American history. I asked the most patriotic movie, by the way, and Dominic chose Air Force One. We don't even want to go there. We're going to come. Oh, good God. That wasn't bad, actually. We're going to have answers here when we come back. Stay with us.